Hello and welcome back to the channel. We'll talk about all things card games and chill with friends. My name is Liam and today we are back continuing, like I said, with the Hololive OCG fan Discord servers tournament, which we try and host one at least once a month here on the Vice and Chill channel, where we're going to be commentating on the Top Cut. I am joined by Mr. Og. Hello, Og. And yes, we are going to be providing some turn-by-turn commentary on the game and seeing who ultimately takes the win of our second tournament that we are running on this tournament. Again, if you are new here, please make sure if you're on Twitch, hit that follow button. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to support the channel, please, again, on Twitch, consider subscribing. And on YouTube, please consider joining and becoming a member. So yes, we've got some interesting games lined up for the Top Cut, and I do want to just share where we're at with who we're going to be seeing throughout this Top Cut. So, moving to more full screen. Whee! So, hopefully you guys can see this. So, we have got... so, game one is going to be Zexal versus Chiztastic, where we're going to see Suisei versus Mume. Well, Suisei Muna versus Promise. Game 2, which is the game we're going to be streaming, is going to be Kanata versus Aki Kiara. Game 3 is another Suisei Muna versus another White Promise, but that is the Toolbox Promise that you saw in that last game I played. No, the second to last game I played in the Swiss rounds. And then the final game is going to be Kanata versus Kiara Polka. So we've got an aggro game on table 4. We've got your typical Suisei Promise matchups probably in table 1, table 3, and table 2 we've got Kanata versus Aki Rose, which we're going to be commentating on. I guess predictions from yourself, Og. Where do you see these tables going?
I'm not hugely up with the meta, but at the same time, I do know Promise is obviously still the best deck. If you look at the reports coming in from all of the shock tournaments in Japan, there's still to this day a huge Promise turnout.
Yes.
I mean, I hate to predict a Promise Mirror finals, so I'm not going to. I don't. I do think the counter deck has a chance. I think it's likely to win the game that we're going to watch, but it will still be an interesting game. And I'm going to go out there and predict that we get a Kanata versus Promise finals. I'm not going to predict which way it's going to go, but that's my bold prediction for our matchups this afternoon.
Yes. No, I'm kind of with you on this. I think we're going to see a lot of Promise doing very, very well here at the moment. And again, Kanata could cause some issues. Looking at the analysis, we have seen, looking at the win-loss ratios, obviously there's quite a high loss ratio across the board for the double losses, but our highest win ratio during Swiss was Kanata, followed by the Oshi Soda, which is the Promise deck that we're seeing in Top Cut. And then obviously Mume with Promise, obviously actually only getting 3 wins out of 10. But those people coming out very well on top. You can't hear him. If he said something, you might hear it. No, you should be able to. It's probably just because of lag. You definitely should be able to hear him because I made it so you should. What is going on? Why can't I make this smaller so it actually fits on the screen? We'll find out what goes on in a minute, I guess. But yes, so we are going to be moving into our Top Cut, like I said, and we've got some exciting games lined up. So I hope you're excited, and I hope you're ready to watch these games with us. So the plan is now, if this is all working to plan, we are going to get ready to go over... wait, ignore that stream message. Not sure what happened there. Okay, fair enough. Ignore that Steam message. Yeah? You had a Steam message? Oh, right, okay. It's all good. Right, so I think we're on the verge of getting Top Cut to start. Og, do you want to do the announcement for the people to get themselves into tables? And we'll...
Yep, I will hit the button now.
Yep, so that should make the round go live. Yep, so it's timed, but it's not timed. It's fine. Cool. Right, let's join these guys and just let them know to get started. Hello, you guys can start. Good luck. Okay, so I'm just going to turn them down a little bit in my ears. There we go. So I can still hear them, but you guys can't. I will try and make it so that we sort of switch between the two hands. Oopsie. So we should be able to basically switch between the two, so we can see both sides of the board. So it will be Canada going first here. And I think we're looking at a pretty subpar start here. Got the ordinary PC to find the collab Canada debut, but bar that, there's not much going on here for the Canada starting hand. What are your thoughts, Og?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, with any deck, you ideally want to have more than one debut out at the start of the game. I didn't see the mulligan process, so I don't know whether this was their first hand they took it anyway, or whether they mulliganed into this and had to take it. But as you said, a suboptimal start. We see the ordinary PC being used here. It's got to be for the collab Kanata, I imagine.
Yeah.
There it is. On the other side, we have the Archie in the center. Hold on, let me just quickly see what Zero's hand looks like. Zero's hand, not looking great either, but...
Okay, so pretty standard. Just getting you power just to try and basically do some defensive aggression. But we're going to move over to the other player's hand.
Also, there's no point in collabing with the collab counter this turn because turn one going first you can't attack, so the attack buff would be wasted and then you wouldn't be able to collab with it next turn.
Absolutely, absolutely. So getting the Sodior enemies, that's 2 Sodior, that's 4 limited in Zero's hand here. That could be a problem, but he has got the Mana-chan to fix that.
Yeah, you'd like to see, if you've got 4 names in hand, you'd like to see one of them be Nodoka at least.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so he's definitely playing the Mana-chan to fix his hand. Yeah, and nice redraw here. Getting another debut, getting the jobs as well, but still not stealing that Stone Axe, but at least he should be able to get that back next turn when he collabs again and can use the Aki's Oshi skill, which will at least get him a Stone Axe from deck to attach. So he can at least start that Aki Rose engine going on.
Yep, it's much more important to natural draw the jobs because, as you say, the Oshi skill to get the axe is a guarantee, but the jobs is a lot less guaranteed. There's also a couple of first Akis in the hand, which will obviously just make Aki a little bit chunkier and more able to withstand the punishment coming from Kanata over on the other side very shortly. Yeah,
it would be nice if Vitri here actually finds a KFP, the Kiara fan, so that if he can get an axe to hand, he can discard it to draw a new card and then play Bloom with the first Aki Rose to then get that Stone Axe from Archive back into its hand and then to play it that way. Or no, to attach it from Archive, sorry. It doesn't actually add it to hand. But it could be a nice free draw as well as actually making the most of the Aki Rose first Bloom effect. So we switched over now. I've just realised. Let's switch back. We've got
V3 just played a sub PC to find a Nodoka and is playing it now.
And that is a lot of debut Kanata.
Well, when you've got 2 of the seconds in hand already, I don't know how many he's running, but when you've got 2 of them in hand already, there ain't many of them left to find.
No, I mean, I feel if you're going pure Kanata, you still run the second as at least as a 3 of, potentially 4. So seeing 2 here and obviously having the Mana-chan in hand, he can fix it. but it may not be great to. But we are going to see some pure aggression here from the debut Kanata, because we've got the Upal, we've got the Stone Axe, we've got the Kanata that's going to come in and collab and give an extra 30 power to the center's arts, and that Kanata's got a cheer attached as well. So we are going to see a total attack of 120 on just the 120 in total this turn, or we're not, because they decided to bloom with the unlimited debut. Interesting. I definitely thought they would have. They've bloomed over that Kanata. Okay, so he's played the first bloom Kanata. Yeah, go on.
I think what's happened is because he doesn't need the buff to take out the Akirosa that was in the center, he's decided to bloom over that one to save it from any So You're the Enemy shenanigans. I mean, we did see that Zero had one or two of those in hand earlier, so just making sure that counter is safe. It still does 30 damage to center on bloom.
Yes.
So it still provided the 30 damage that it was going to provide anyway, and just makes it safe from being taken out by shenanigans.
Yeah. So here we are. We absolutely saw the Akirosa Oshi skill to search for the Stone Axe, and then attach it to the Akiros in center. Also attaching the jobs, blooming into first, and we're going to see a nice solid attack here and an extra draw, which will be pretty nice. Okay, he just refixed, because he took the life, he accidentally took it from top of deck. Okay, that makes sense. So I think we might see an amazing PC here, to try and find his second Aki as soon as possible. Yep, here we are. Detaching the cheer from the center, because the first bloom only requires one cheer for its attack, and we are going to see the second Aki return to hand. Contemplating if he wants to bloom here, because again he will lose out on the free attach, but at the same time it is doing 40 damage instead of the 20 on the base.
And again, it's just a little chunkier. Now that the first counter is out there on the back, that one has freedom of where to attack. So there's a possibility that his collab will get attacked, and even though it's not the debut counter, the first counter can still hit, and it can still get Upal, and it can still get an axe, and it can still do a lot of damage. So again, just making sure things are beefy against counter.
Not only that as well, obviously, if you see a first counter, you've always got to be very wary of the second counter that could come in, which we know they have in hand. So I think doing this is probably the correct play. He hasn't got a limited this turn to play now, because he's already played his amazing PC, so he can't play another one. So it'll be interesting to see what the next draw for Zero will be. I think just contemplating how he wants to do his attacks here. Because he's got a damage output of... He's got a 90 damage output, which can KO a Kanata. The question is here, though, will they want to deal with the center, so that they have to have the rested Kanata go to back? But that does mean that they will take 20 damage in return because of Upal attached. Or will he just take out the collab and just not risk taking that extra damage, which can be vital in this matchup?
And the other thing, of course,
he's
is
attacking
if you take out the center, that just... Okay, I was going to say the other thing is if you take out the center, that of course basically it's a free switch for your opponent. So now Vitri can put whichever counter he wants in his center. Whereas if you take out the collab, that the center would be stuck there. Of course, it was a very powerful center, so it was worth taking out. But it's always a consideration of, do you want to leave your opponent effectively stuck with something in the center that they then have to baton pass, or do you take it out?
Yeah, absolutely. So drawing into Nodica here, that's quite good. I think that's very good in this situation. Probably going to attach this cheer to his first bloom. Yep, there we are. And then he's going to probably go into second bloom and then collab, deal 50 damage on collab to center. And then also have the black wings, which is a very scary
Remind
effect.
me, Counter's Oshi skill squeeze costs 3, correct?
Correct. Yes, the SP Oshi. Oh, sorry, the Oshi skill costs 3. Correct. So we aren't going to see
Yes,
that happen.
Yes, so he might want to actually save that counter. If he wants to take the extra life with it, he might want to save that counter for another turn. But at the same time, I think if he was going to do that, he wouldn't have put the cheer onto it. He would have saved that for next turn.
Exactly. Yeah.
So...
I don't think he can afford to just leave it for a turn. Obviously, because of squeeze, even though Akihiro's second can heal and buff itself back up, it doesn't actually matter because it's going to be put to 50 because squeeze is a terrifying Oshi skill, and not only that, they could just actually decide to use the second the SP Oshi skill and just do extra damage with the center, which you could expect to try and maybe bring the second canister into that center slot eventually.
Yes,
so
I think
basically,
that's probably the plan, is to get that second into the centre. But for now, obviously, it's in the collab slot, so next turn it'll go back rested.
Also, here's using crushing
and there
this
we
turn.
see it, the SP skill. Yep, the SP skill for the extra damage.
Yep. So, yeah, we weren't sure if we were going to see it, and actually didn't need to because he was already at 70 damage, so literally no point. Oh, no, sorry, this is the SP skill, so yes, sorry, no, I'm being dumb. So it's basically causing 2 life to be lost here because of the Kanata.
Yep,
because he has
with
dealt
the extra power.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've just realised what he's done there. Okay, back onto Zero's turn. How will he respond here? He's got quite the tower to climb. He's only got the one rested backstage. He does find another second Aki. Not sure what benefit this might be here. He blooms before the attach. Okay, I suppose the attach only gives the heal, which is irrelevant in this situation. Blitzing through here, going for first.
Kiara.
Yes. And he's got the
because without that first
Akira,
Kiara, I think it would have been very easy for the second counter to get the overkill on that center Kiara, and that would have been game over since currently he's at only 2 life.
Yes, absolutely. So I think at this situation, I think Zero has to consider not collabing here, just to not give that easy free knockout or down, should I say?
I mean, yeah, you absolutely can't afford to collab with the debut Aki here. Absolutely can't afford to. Because you're right, if nothing else, that's an easy 2 KOs on 2 holomems, even without the overkill, and that's just 2 life lost. You're going to have to probably, if you survive to next turn, you're going to have to baton pass that second Aki into the center, would be what I imagine is the plan.
Mm-hmm. And I think we're just going to see a simple attack from Kiara here to deal some damage. Yep, we see a 40 damage to the second Kanata, which will go back, and it is now back to Vitri's turn. So we're just contemplating where we're going to put this cheer. I've probably to center. So at least we've got a 40 damage output from the center Kanata.
And we have the collab counter sitting there ready to give it another 30.
He also has the Soriori enemy, which could be terrifying, but it might not be worth playing this turn. I think you probably just Nautica to bolster your hand here. Yep. Oh, and he finds the mascot
another second Kanata.
And another second Kanata. That is terrifying. So he's going to have a double chance to try and find Upao here by blooming first. Which I feel you definitely do onto the non-collab Kanata. Or he could choose to collab with the collab Kanata and then bloom over it, so he still gets a collab effect and a bloom effect. That could be a good move.
Yep, that's a perfectly legal move. I don't know if it's necessary, but it's doable and it works.
Yeah, I think in this situation, I don't think you really care, right? But I feel you want to try and hit that Kiara as much as possible here. So I feel that collabing with the collab effect is probably the play. So there's another Kanata coming down. And where's he going to bloom? He's probably going to bloom onto one of the unlimited to start with. Yep. Got to roll a dice.
That makes sense.
And I believe if it's odd, it's
3 or less.
3 or less. So it's a normal coin flip. That's pretty good. So we do get an Upal to hand. That's pretty good. And he attaches it. Sorry, attached it to the center Kanata, which makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
And now I think contemplating whether he tries to go for the second here. I feel you do here, right? Just to thin out the deck so it helps your draws for next turn.
I'm trying to think of a reason not to.
Okay, so he's collabed with his unlimited Kanata. I presume it's just because it's a bit bigger. He's got control of the game at the moment. He doesn't need to push power. Collabing over in his center hits another mascot search, and we'll give that probably to the
that's in the
second.
Position, I imagine.
No, give it to the second.
Right, yeah.
That makes sense. Again, he I think Vitri here can 100% like take. Like, if he takes a life here, he's not sad about that at all. Because one, it will give him a cheer. And because he's got that other second Kanata in hand, that will just basically be game over.
Right. So put pressure on the Kiara without necessarily downing her. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's clever because you don't want to give extra cheer where you don't need to. So I think that was a very clever turn.
Yeah, especially with the second Kanata right there. Anyway, going over to Zero's turn, he did do exactly what I thought he would do, which was baton pass with the Kiara to one of the to this first Aki, but with the 2 second Akis in hand, he can absolutely bloom it this turn.
So
no, he can't bloom it this turn. Was that?
No, he only just bloomed the first to get the search.
Oh, so he can't bloom it into second.
No, so I think he has to shuffle hand here.
It hugely matters versus Kanata.
But yeah, I think baton passing here is, I think it's the only way he's going to survive.
Yes, of course.
I'd be interested to see how many cheer the second Aki has. I think it's got 3 at the moment, and it requires 4 for its attack. Or it's got 2 and it requires 3. I think it's 1 cheer short. And there is no way of getting that. And unfortunately, not seeing the jobs here is kind of grim. Oh, it does have 3. Now, if you are going to collab... Oh, it's designed to collab with the Kiara. Interesting. I suppose doing it this way means he gets a double attack to take out the first. This is clever. But knowing that so he's going to attach a cheer here, he's going to get one for turn. Actually, he's not going to be able to do 2 lots of the Kanata second here, actually. He's only going to be able to do 1. But that might be all he needs. Yeah, I think Zero is already saying, yeah, I think I'm dead.
Yeah.
And he's drawn into
to the center.
He's drawn into a first Kanata as well. Oh my days. It's all Jova now.
And that's the one with the bonus damage as well, so...
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he even needs it. And second Kanata does have a collab effect of dealing damage as well.
Yes. And if he had KO'd, he actually would have taken life as well from the collab effect. The bloom effect of the first doesn't, but the other one does. But yeah, there we go. That is the game. Kanata's done Kanata things and has absolutely smacked face. That's rather unfortunate for Akirose. But in this matchup, it was always going to be pretty one-sided. The only hope that Akirose had was the fact that they had a really slow start, but then they just managed to snowball and fix it when they Nodokud into 3 Kanata debuts. And that was all it wrote. Right, before I do that, 1 second, before you start talking, because people aren't going to hear you, because I need to copy over the source so people can hear you. Copy... back to Facecam. Put that there. Hide it away. Hide. There we go. Okay, so that is that game done. Let's quickly go speak to the guys. Hello. 1 second. Let me turn you guys up. I will keep you muted on the stream for a second. Are you guys both happy to talk about the game, or would you rather not? Okay, in that case, I will unmute you. You are now live on stream. So that was a game.
Yeah.
I think we were saying at the very beginning that we very much thought that Canada was going to have the upper hand in this matchup because Aki is quite a slow deck, but if it gets snowballing, Aki is extremely strong. And at the very beginning of the game, when we only saw Vitri only open up with the single debut Canada, we was like, oh, Aki might have a chance here. There's actually a chance. And then he Nodaka'd into 3 debut Canatas. I'm like, oh, maybe not.
That was no way.
Yeah.
The second I saw 2 Canatas, I'm like, oh, it's over. Anyway,
I think it was over the moment that I killed the first bloom.
Yeah. Once you got over top of that, yeah, it was.
You just like with the second Planeta. I think that's when it was just over because that means the impetus of doing that, like having the because like if I leave it up for a round, that means that my opponent can just bloom it and just start dealing 190 to everything, which is kind of bad.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Because remind me, Aki's strong against white, is that right?
Yeah, it's strong against white. The only issue is the fact that Kanta's second has 200 health. And setting it to center with Kanata Oshi is just a death sentence, no matter what.
Yeah.
I can't find it that time to put it to center, and by that time I was already dead.
Yeah, we was looking at the situation. It was like, oh, if Vitri decides to use I'll Crush You to just deal loads of damage and make sure they actually beat that first bloom Aki Rose in that turn with the second Kanata to then also deal 2 life as well. We were just sitting there going,
I'll be real, I probably would have just I probably wouldn't have used the skills if I hit an E-Pal or an Axe. But because I didn't, I was like, bloody heck. I hate this, but hating a situation and dealing 2 damage at the same time is like kind of hypocritical in a way.
Yeah. No, it was indeed a little bit unfortunate. But right, so let's just check how we're doing on the game. Thank you very much for playing, and thank you for playing on the stream. Vitri, we will see you in the semi-finals.
Get
Okay, right. We are going to drop from this chat, and Og and I are going to continue elsewhere. Okay, so we have our first win of the game. So we got a win for player A for Vitri. We're going to go back to full screen so you guys can see what I'm doing. And we also have a win for... Oh, that's not the right page. That's the page I want. Where are we? Pairings. Round 5. So Chiefman beat Oceanix. So we see that the White Promise, the Toolbox Sorter, we are seeing a win over Suisse, so we will see a Promise in the semi-finals. And then we're just waiting on the other 2 games to finish. Other 3 games to finish, actually, sorry. So Haske beat Draco, which is a win for player B. We are keeping the stream delay on just because obviously the people can watch. I'm being safe with the stream delay. Plus, I now can't remove it. Now I've started with it, so tough, I guess. So the only match we're still waiting on is Zexal and Choose Tastic, where it's Suisse versus White Blue Promise. We won't interfere with them. We'll let them do their thing. But so I think realistically, so let me just pull up the standings for Top Cut so I can see who's going to be against who. So Vitri is going to be playing the winner of that final game, Zexal versus Choose Tastic. And then it's going to be Chief Ermin versus Haske. So we are going to see Kiara Polka versus Chief Ermin, who was the Tokino Sora, the Toolbox Promise, if you will, in the top 4. So we'll put that in there. So we got so Chief Ermin's going to be on top. And then we're going to have Haske in our first game. And then the second game, we're going to see Vitri versus the winner of the final game. So I think for the next game, as we've already seen Vitri, we'll probably watch the Promise Toolbox versus Kiara Polka. Kiara Polka was the deck that won the first tournament, so we'll see how that goes down. I guess if we're going to be watching,
match, yeah.
I think it will be an interesting match. I don't think it's got Kiara Polka's got the potential of being really aggro if it works out. But at the same time, Promise has got so much resource finding that it might be able to deal with it. Providing that Promise doesn't just absolutely sack, which Promise can do. It can just draw into and only start with 2 collab Mumeis with only 60 health, and if that's the case, it could be all game over. You just don't know. But I actually think this will be a good match. I think it'll be pretty consistent. I think it won't be too quick because Polka isn't rapid when you compare it to Kanata, but it is still pretty damn quick. What are your thoughts, Og?
Yeah, unless you draw the card hand like someone did against me one time.
I think I had a situation once. I think I did it once where I opened up with, I think it was the polkas, but it was normal polkas. I think I had what's the word? Pekora spot. And then I had a KFP. And then some other, and I think a Nautica, which then drew me into everything. And basically, I ended up with about 5. On turn 2, I had 5 fans, a Buzz Polka, and a first Polka. Basically, swinging for I think combined that is what 150, 220 on turn 2. And I was sitting going, "Oh,
yeah, I think
okay."
I was the one that you did that against.
Oh, it might have been actually. It might have been on stream as well. You're right.
Yes, that's the game I was mentioning. Yes, the game I was talking about. Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I was just sitting there going, "Oh, well, this is the absolute god hand for this deck. What do?" Right.
But yes, and you're right. Normally, if that doesn't happen, normally the Kiara Polka deck is a little slower than the Kanata deck, which is why it loses to the Kanata deck, because Kanata deck just sort of sweeps out from under them, goes a little bit faster.
Exactly. The only advantage that Kanata does have is that if they get to their second, obviously Kanata is strong, has an advantage against red, so that can cause massive issues. But if Kiara Polka can be quicker than Kanata, and Kanata can't set up their seconds, Kiara Polka I think does have the advantage. And the advantage with Kiara as well, obviously you can also run the second Bloom Kiara, which gives you an advantage against green as well, which we are seeing a lot of in general. We've seen ASCII decks. You're seeing, mid-range Akis. You're seeing, occasionally seeing Pekora. There's a lot, and obviously Iraha as well is a deck. Just running Pekora Iraha is a strong deck. There are a few good green decks which are a solid mid tier 2 to tier 3 in my opinion. So I think I definitely think Kiara Polka has a good place in tier 2.
Yeah, I think the biggest deck you're going to see the most of is still the Azuki deck. It's not as popular as it was right after our first tournament. Right after that tournament, it suddenly really bursted in popularity. Like, it was suddenly discovered even in Japan as a deck.
Yeah.
But it's gone down in popularity since. But I think it's still the most popular green deck is the Azuki deck.
Yeah,
but, you're right. All sorts of decks have been sort of popping up, bubbling under in that sort of tier 2, tier 3 layer, just, under the oppressive reign of Promise.
Absolutely. But as we said already, like, Promise is probably the best deck in the format right now. We are seeing, obviously we're starting to get a couple of reveals for set 2, and I think only one of those, only a couple of debuts, and obviously a couple of promos. But I am excited to see, with set 2, we know that Marine's going to be there, which is going to be a good bulk of red, which could really help Kiara Polka. We're also going to see, obviously, IMA in the start deck, which is also red. So it'll be interesting to see, what red does to the set, to the game with set 2. But I'm more interested about what purple's going to do. Like, what is purple's layout, I guess? Because obviously, I think with the 4 colors we've got, I think we've got a rough idea of what the colors are trying to do. So blue seems to be more control, whether that be dealing damage to back, whether that be just manipulating your opponent's board, and I think blue will see more general control builds. Excuse me. And then we're also going to see, in purple, I'm not quite sure what purple's going to be. It might be some form of like life manipulation, which could be quite cool. And then yellow, I don't know, I've not got a clue what yellow will be. But we could also see like things like mill decks in blue. Like we could see mill decks. I think mill deck in blue could be a thing. When you look at other colours, so you've got red, which is obviously a bit more aggro, at least overall, like in terms of like getting bodies out that deal a lot of damage very quickly. Just look at Polka and Kiara, make sure you get the cards that you need. Louis, again, can do a lot of things with the whole, like the manipulation of discarding cards from hand instead for the Louis Yoshi. When you look at green, you're looking more like Cheer Ramp, or I guess if comparing it to Magic the Gathering, you've got like, it's more like Landfall. So you're seeing a lot of similarities. You're seeing high HP Holo members combined with a massive utility on Cheer Ramp. White kind of just does white things. Like, I'm not quite sure what
I've made the
white
joke before, and it goes something like this. I've made the joke before, it goes something like this. Blue specialty is cards that attack the back row. Red specialty is manipulation of the archive. Green specialty is ramp and healing. And white specialty is good cards.
It's very true, though. It's very true. White
just gets. I mean, happy to find a thing that white does. It's
white seems to be just like an all-round.
Cards really well.
I suppose that's what you could do. Yeah, white is more like, it's like deck manipulation, like plussing hand. I was going to look at Sora, where it's the first bloom draw 1, the second bloom collab to draw 2, Mume on collab draw 1. Obviously looking at Zeta and Mume first blooms to search your decks. So it's all about like deck manipulation and deck control, like your own deck control, and like maintaining hand and maintaining your deck. I think that's what white is trying to do, and I think that's where it is. But I'm really curious about what they're going to do with purple. Purple could be, for all we know, it could be like hidden zone manipulation. So it could be life manipulation, could be holo power manipulation. Although we do see a little bit of holo power manipulation in white with the iris. So I'm genuinely curious what purple's going to do.
The only hint we have so far to purple, the only hint we have is the debut Cali, which checks if you have a holo mem in archive and does extra damage. That's the only hint that we have to anything that purple do. My big fear with purple, in terms of the meta, is that I don't know if you've looked at the second Mume's color advantage, but right now it's not doing anything to any of the decks in the meta right now, because it's purple.
Yes.
So I'm afraid that the set is going to have a heavy emphasis on purple, and then it's all of this purple that's coming in that's trying to do new stuff. It's just going to get run over by Mume.
Yeah, it's terrifying but true. It's very terrifying but very true. I think we now are about to get our final result, and we are going to see Chew-tastic come through into the semi-finals. So we are going to see White Blue Promise versus Kanata in the semis, and also Toolbox Promise versus Kiara Polka. So let's get that game ready. So let's jump into table 2. Do you want to release the round, Og?
Yep, hold on 1 second.
It's not Chiefman, it's this is and Hasuke. For the semi-finals. Hello.
That's so one to drop out.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. We've already spoken to him about it, so you'll be on table 1 for your game. So you get the win anyway. So he basically had to concede, which is fine.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, jump into table 1 and you can get started. Okay. Hello, Hasuke.
Hello.
Hello. Just to let you know, we will be streaming your game for the game 2. What we're going to ask you and your opponent to do is basically share your screen so we can watch your game. And we will mute ourselves whilst we're commentating. Does that sound good?
Okay. Yeah.
Amazing. So I think the round's going to go up now. Like I said, you're going to be playing this is person. Let's pair the next round. Boop. So that is now live. Okay, so what we're going to do, so yeah, if you guys can share your screens, like I said to, oh, we just lost him. So yes, if you can both share your screens so that we can watch your games. Obviously, we ask that don't watch your opponent's streams, be nice. So yes, if you can do that, that would be really, really awesome. Just going to make sure you're working. And no, I don't want to watch your stream. That's what I want to do. We've got a message in the table chat. No worries. When you're in, please share your screen so we can watch and commentate. We will be muted, so you will not hear us. Right, so whilst we get everyone ready, best of luck, Hasuke. We're going to mute ourselves now, and we will see you in a bit. Okay, do I still have an OG? Mr. Og, are you there?
Oh.
Yes, you are there. Fantastic. Okay, so we're just waiting for our next opponent to be ready. We're just going to set them up. And yes, so we are going to be seeing Kiara Polka versus... I forgot what it was now. White Blue Promise, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. What was it? It was... it was the Toolbox Promise. That's what it was. So this will be quite an interesting game, I think. I guess initial predictions. Do you have? It is a really cute. The star in that's really freaking adorable. That is really really cute. That is really cute. So
anyway, predictions here. So what's this? It's Kiara Polka versus Toolbox Promise.
Yes.
This is, I mean, it really is just a case of if Kiara Polka can get away with having a great hand and Promise stumbles at the starting block, then they can steal the win. But I say steal the win because I think the advantage is definitely in Promise's favor here. Not least with Iris with her plus damage versus Red, but just in general, it's very much like once Promise is doing Promise things, it's hard to stop them. Like it's the issue I've been sort of dancing around the whole afternoon. But yeah, it's sort of Promise. Once they're going, they're going. So my prediction is that it's on the Promise. That said, the Sora Oshi is an unusual choice. Not completely unheard of, but unusual. So I don't know what's in this deck, so it's going to be perhaps interesting to see.
Yeah, I think the Sora Oshi is quite cool. Like, it's extremely cheap on its Oshi skills. It's very utilitarian in the sense of it's got the replacement skill to manipulate their cheers around their stage, and also it's got the once per game so you're the enemy to switch the opponent's center out, which is a really, really nice plus. So yeah, I think the Sora is a super good Oshi. I think it's just waiting for the perfect deck for it. I think it works well in general Sora anyway, and I think it's got some good opportunities in Zeta and in Promise, as we're about to see. But I don't think it reaches its full potential yet. And I think we've got to wait for set 2 to see that.
I think the Sora Oshi is, I think, quite the opposite. I don't think it's waiting for the right deck as much as it's a very general purpose Oshi. So you mentioned like Zeta, for example. There isn't really a specific Oshi for that sort of thing. So you slot in Sora. I think Sora is sort of a very general purpose Oshi that you can fit in basically any deck. Bonus if it has white in it, but it doesn't even have to have that. Any deck that doesn't have an Oshi card that's very specialized toward that deck, you can slot the Sora in, and it can do well. So yeah. I don't know if there's ever going to be a specific deck that really comes out strong, that where Sora shines as much as just like any deck can use it. It's always an option no matter what you're building. I will say with Promise, you mentioned the once per game so you're the enemy effect. For Promise in particular, of course, that as well as switching the center and back Holomems, it also gives a plus 50 bonus, I believe it is, to a white Holomem's attacks. And of course, the attacking Holomems in Promise are white. So that buff is also it's not insignificant. You can use it to just about take out. You can bring in something that they're hiding in the back and take it out, rather than sort of use it to chip off a last piece of life or whatever. Like you might normally use an enemy effect.
Absolutely. We're just seeing some chats in the YouTube chat. Someone asking, Nielsen asking, what do you think about Sora Zeta Aofi, where you use Zeta Aofi with the Sora Oshi? I think it's a solid deck. It's a deck that I want to try out. The downside to it is obviously you can't really get away with running the ID3 event to top 4, the Gravity event, Gravity clone. But you've still got your, you've got your Nodika, you've still got Mana-chan for hand manipulation. I think it is a solid deck. It's got a very good amount of it combines the cheer manipulation from green, the cheer ramp from green, with the the deck manipulation and also the damage control of Zeta. Of course, it's very coin flippy. Nature of Zeta. You saw that during my games. When it works, it works. When it doesn't, it dies really bad. Yeah, I think Zeta Aofi is a fun deck. I don't think it's massively strong. I would put it probably tier 3, but I have seen it do some results. And again, if Zeta works, it works amazingly. It's just getting it to work is the challenge.
Right, and this is what I was talking about with Sora being a very general purpose Oshi, because there isn't really any, if you look at the 8 Oshis that came in the booster pack, none of them really go with that deck. It's sort of not a deck that it feels like, set 1 has been designed in such a way that there's lots of very specific decks. There's the Archie deck, there's the Promise deck, there's the Suisse and Blue Stuff deck, and this is sort of not that. It's its own sort of thing, its own creation, and that's where Sora comes in as an Oshi of, well, if it's not a deck that we specifically designed around as designers of the set, there's still an Oshi that you can run as part of that deck, and it still does something. So that's, to me, that's the strength of the Sora Oshi, is just its flexibility into going into pretty much any deck.
And I must admit, like, when you talk of it that way and you think about it more, I think that shows that the set design of set 1 overall is pretty good. Like, I was getting, like, you've got the set decks, you've got, again, like I said, you've got Kanata, you've got Aki, you've got Promise, you've got Kiara with Kiara Polka, you've got you can also go Louis as well in red, but Sora as a generic Oshi is just a great card that people can use as and when, and it's a massive benefit. It really, really is. And I really look forward to seeing how set 2 comes out, and what the sort of things we sort of see. It will be interesting to, as the reveals happen for set 2, I hope to do a bit like, I'm not saying the commentary, I want to try and do like regular reveal like videos on it, like little shorts, because YouTube shorts are a thing and I should really do them, as much as I don't like doing short form content. But I do think that there is a really cool opportunity we are just having some tech issues with our second player, unfortunately. We're just trying to figure out what's going on, I think. So we might end up watching this from we can just watch through Haske, as long as Haske is okay with that. So yes, we are just waiting to get this game started. We do apologise for the wait. We love technical issues, as we know on the Weiss and Chill channel. We love a good technical issue here. But whilst we're waiting, after this stream, I will be taking a break for some food. And then I will be looking to stream some more TCG Car Shop Simulator. I'm really enjoying that game a bit too much. So if you haven't already, please make sure you follow me on Twitch. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and give some love to the channel. And if you enjoy what we do here and you want to support us, please consider joining and becoming a member over on YouTube, or also becoming a subscriber over on Twitch. And if you really, really want to, and you really love us, you can also just donate to the channel. Like I said, that money goes towards going to events. It goes, where I can do vlogs and things like that, and it also goes towards getting product in where I can open stuff on stream and on video, especially when we do eventually get the English release of the Hololive official card game, which I'm really excited for. And I hope you guys are too. I think we've had a really great time with the card game so far on the channel. Everyone's been loving it. Everyone's been showing an amazing amount of support. So from my heart, I want to say a massive, massive thank you for everything that you guys have done in terms of supporting the channel with the card game. I realise I've taken a massive back seat on Vice Schwartz, but I'm not burnt out on Vice. But I've really enjoyed doing something different and fresh. And I think being one of the very few English-speaking content creators on the game is something that I want to make the most of. From a analytics perspective, I do want to make the most of being someone that is really like pushing that game. In this game, should I say? Right, we are ready for our game, and we are going to see who's going first. We have got Haruka making the choice, and they will be going first. So let's look at the mulligan. That is a unplayable hand, so they need to go again. Looking at the other player, did I miss it? They're having to. No. Oh no, they're having to go down to 6 cards in hand. But they have got a decent hand.
Oh no, that's 2 W's.
They've got an okay hand here.
I look at that iris. I was gonna say I look at that iris and I always forget it's a debut. It looks like the artwork on it looks like a first to me for some reason.
But that's just because Iris is more 3D.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, they've forgotten to cheer. Hold on.
There was only one debut in the hand.
Hasuke, don't forget to do. Oh, yeah, you got your cheer. There you go. It's all good. Okay. So sorry, you were saying.
No, I was just saying that I look at the iris there, the first iris, and I always forget that it is a first. I think it's a second. The debut, and I forget that it's a debut. I think it's a first.
Yes.
No, it was a debut, so at least Shem has 2 debuts out instead of just the one. We're not going to see the immediate KO and a very disappointing game.
So obviously Color Poker going first here and getting the poker hit, the search for a buzz, meaning that having that early access to the buzz poker is extremely useful, and a pretty standard setup turn for Kiara Poker. And moving into Promise's first turn, we're going to see a simple attach here. I think we're going to try and get a draw here potentially, or just try and bring up something out with a higher HP. Okay, gone for the Iris, just to. I think
it's probably just for HP reasons. You don't want to put a 60 HP collab out in the front row against an aggressive deck such as, or a very bursty deck, I should say, such as Polka and Kiara. You never know what. I mean, especially since we saw the buzz go into Hasuke's hand. You don't want to be putting out anything that's particularly weak and will just get run over immediately.
Okay, so we're just going to see a attack for 10 with the center Mume towards the center polka.
Yeah, the Mume, of course, only having 10 attack if you haven't used a support card this turn.
Yes. I did see the temptation there to play the Stone Axe, but I decided not to, and I think that's fair. I understand why they didn't.
Again, it comes down to just having as much HP as possible versus the Polka deck, I think. There wasn't really any good reason to set up the X just yet. So,
yeah, I agree.
Take the chip damage because why not? But otherwise, keep yourself healthy.
Yeah. So we are going to see our Buzz Polka come down. We won't get the salvage of the Zyno, which is unfortunate. But I think we are just going to see into a Mane-chan and hopefully we find some fans. He needs to see a Zyne here. Really needs to see a Zyne. He doesn't see one, but oh no, he can't use it. He's got the first polkas, but he's only just played that polka to hand, so he is going to try and Kiara here.
Yeah.
Oh, and he misses. Oh no, and he loses a KFP. That is really unfortunate. 2 Nauticas, yikes.
No Holomins in the top 3 is a bit of a disaster roll there for that first Kiara.
Absolutely, but I think. So yeah, we're going to collab with the Kiara and just deal 40 damage, I believe, whilst also just getting out. So I think the collab Kiaras here are actually a very interesting choice. I'm not convinced on it. I don't use it in my Kiara Polka build.
They're the mascot search. These ones are the mascot search, aren't they? So, I mean, are there any mascots in this deck? It's all fans, obviously, not mascots. This Kiara seems designed to go with Louis, obviously. You'd pop this into the collab slot, get the Gunmo out for the Louis that's in the center slot, attach the Gunmo, and then draw cards with the Louis. At least that seems to be the design purpose behind them. With no mascots in the deck, maybe there are 1 or 2 Kuporis in the deck just for damage mitigation. Yeah,
a bit of damage, and also on Bloom draw, if I remember rightly.
Right. I mean, you could even attach the Kukori to a Polka or something just to take less damage. Cancel out the extra damage the design would give you, for example.
Yeah, that's very true. That's actually kind of relevant. But I feel it takes up slots in the deck that you don't really have, at least from when I built it.
Yeah,
but I understand the idea.
That collab Kiara is very weak, just like low HP wise. Speaking of low HP collabs, we've collabed with the Mume and attached an axe to her. So I guess we're just sacrificing this Mume anyway, just for the draw.
Yeah, and I think they're just trying to push damage.
And since she's probably going to go down this round anyway, no reason not to attach the axe to her.
Yep. So it's going to do...
$60 to the buzz.
Is it 60?
20 from the X and 40 from... Wait, 60? Yeah.
It shouldn't be 60.
20 from Axe, but its own attack is only...
20, right?
Oh, the iris bloomed.
Oh, the iris bloomed. Oh, yes, of course. Yes, so then this is going to be attacking for
so
60.
10 plus 20 from Axe plus 30 from iris is 60.
Oh, yeah, and then the center's going to attack for 70 because of the friend attached. So getting a good damage output on the Buzz Polka here, which could prove to be really useful.
We'll see if we can find a first Mume. Obviously, this all goes off, especially with the second Mume already in hand. But right now, it's still looking like a relatively weak board. The collab Mume there looks like it will go down very quickly. So we have to hope that the friend on the center Mume can keep her surviving for another turn, and then we can find a first Mume to start going off.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we're just confirming the amount of damage, but yeah, there we go. And moving over to Hasuke. Floop. Okay.
So this isn't a particularly strong start for either side here. Notably, only one KFP found, although another one has just come into hand now.
I think this is about to change.
So,
I think we're going to see a search for a KFP, a search for a Zine, or potentially two Zines to bring out the Polka first. The problem is though, if you do attach the KFP, what do you discard, or do you just put it out there for the fan boost? That might be what you have to do here, and just not discard. Oh no, he is discarding the.
Looks like we're discarding.
Oh, I don't think that was the right.
I mean,
don't think
when you
that
got
was right.
when you got two buzzes in hand and only one non-buzz polka already on the board, I mean, buzz is where you want to get to with the polka. The first polka is just there to really sort of access your fans. So, what's that now? 3 fans on the stage now. 1 Zion and 2 KFPs.
Yes,
so,
that's correct. Yes.
So the buzz polka is hitting quite hard now.
So it's doing 110 damage to the center Mume, which will knock out.
Will it knock out through the friend?
Yes, it will. So. Yeah, it will. We also need to mention that there should be damage on the Mume that just went back. Just a heads up, don't forget there should be 10 damage on the Mume that went back because of the Stone Axe. There we go. Okay.
Commentating and judging at the same time.
We're used to it. Oh, that's a really good draw from the Nodika here. Getting an Iris, getting first Mume, probably get another. You could search. What would you search for here? Probably a Mume or an Iris. Yeah, definitely a debut. Or I suppose you could just grab another first Iris just to spam the Irises. No, it's going for the Mume. Okay, that makes sense.
But we went for the Mume.
That makes sense. I'm with that. So
Collab with the Iris. You can't bloom the Iris this turn. There's no one to
he could bloom the Iris. He could bloom the center. Yeah, he could bloom Iris
on the first bloom.
Yeah, he could go first to first.
Yep.
And he's going to transfer a cheer here.
From the looks of it.
Where will he reattach this? From the back to the. Okay, that makes sense.
So the Iris, yeah, the Iris, just so she can attack.
Yeah, it's going to bloom again.
It's priority number 1 to take down that Buzz Polka, yeah. And yeah, just make it clear in the chat here that we're blooming the Iris because Delta does not make it clear when you've bloomed over the top of something with the same thing.
Not yet, anyway. I think that's an implementation for the next big update.
Yeah, I think so. I'm looking forward to the next big update.
Yes, it'll be fantastic. I know Gabe's got a load of things lined up for the new update, which will be even better for make this game even more usable. We might start seeing some automation soon. at least on some of the cards. We're also going to see some additional functionality as well. I think we're potentially trying to get like a spectate mode. I think we're looking at just improving some graphical use as well in terms of like showing, if you bloom something, it like does an animation to show this is you blooming, to make it super clear. I think there was talk about doing like a targeting system where you can like right click on an opponent's holomem and basically say that you are targeting this without saying it, to make it super clear.
Yep.
Oh, we are seeing So You're the Enemy.
We're using a So You're the Enemy here. So we're switching out this Buzz Polka with something else.
That's interesting. I thought you were taking the opportunity to take it out. But I suppose taking out the first polka...
damage on.
Yeah, I think doing the first polka here is fine because it also gets rid of a fan. But it is a Zine.
Yes.
So worst comes to worst.
Wait, what? No, that's not polka.
That's not polka. That's Pecco.
Just put the wrong thing in. That's all.
There we
can see
go.
in the chat. Oh, there we go.
We fixed it.
But yeah, you're right. That's a Zine we're taking out here. So for one thing, the polka is taking extra damage, but I mean, it might even be. I haven't done the math on this. It might be that we could take out the polka in one hit maybe, and then put the rest of the damage onto the collab. Attack first polka for 120.
Yeah, maybe.
With center iris. Center is plus the. I'm going to trust I'm going to trust Shem's math on that and assume that yes, they could in fact one-shot the. Is that how it? I'm going to trust all the math on that and assume those numbers were correct, because I think if they weren't, then Hasuke would object. So that's 2 targets taken out, one of which had a fan attached, which is that's probably the. I mean, there's 2 reasons to take that polka out. One of which is that it just had the fan on it, and the other is that it's another polka that could have bloomed into a buzz, and now obviously isn't there to do that. Unfortunately, it does put a Zine in the archive. And I think this is what you were going to say earlier and didn't get to. So this polka that's going to come out now, when it blooms next turn into one of the buzzes, you can pull that Zine back out of the archive.
It's all right. Someone's trying to claim copyright on one of the songs, which I know is not a song that was played. Like, why is it trying to claim that? Actually, it's a matter of he's having some tech issues, so he's having to use the game chat, unfortunately. So we are seeing a promise. And we're getting 2 cards to hand. 2 seconds. Not the most ideal here.
No, we already had a second Mume, so we already had a bloom target for the Mume in the center. But she doesn't have enough energy to actually use it. Not enough cheer to actually use it.
But I think you do it anyway just for the HP buff, and you can also move things around. You can move the replacement. You use replacement to move the cheer from the iris in the backstage.
which is exactly what's happening now. Yeah, which is why we collabed with the small Mume there just to get the Holo Power to do so.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was another second Mume in the Holo Power.
Wow, that's unfortunate for Promise.
I mean, I don't think seeing the third second Mume in the Holo Power is that unfortunate at all, considering we've got one on the board and one in the hand already. It's probably the ideal card. You don't need a third one.
But we are going to see Buzz Polka go.
We need to first.
So yeah, Buzz Polka's going to hit here.
Unfortunately, Mume doesn't get huge buffs here because there's only one back row member.
But 100 is enough, because it's going to do 70 plus 80 plus 20 from the Stone Axe, and that is exactly lethal to take out the Podica.
That's 2 life.
But but it's not going to be, because Kiara's skill's coming down. So he's going to be using the Kiara Espioshi to get the Polkas back to hand. He'll only take 1 life. And needs to pay the 2 Holo Power. Did he pay the 2 Holo Power?
I'm sure he did, yeah. I think he had more than 2 Holo Power in there up to now.
Yeah.
Skill used.
Yeah, and he took the one. He took the 1 life, so it's all good.
Yes. Yeah,
so
there's a lot of Buzz Polkas and.
But we can. So here comes the Buzz Polka. We're going to get that Zine back that was taken that second turn or third turn, whenever it was.
The Polka in the back because we don't want our Buzz Polka to take more damage.
Absolutely. Because even if it's a Polka that just stays in the back, at least it's a thing. And now that the Soyo the enemy's already been used.
Yes. Yeah, I mean that's ideally what the Kiaras are even supposed to be for. Is just sitting in the back and holding KFPs. I suppose if you're running the first Kiaras, there's 2 versions of this deck, isn't there? There's the version that only runs 8 fans, where you do attack with Kiara sometimes, and then there's a version that actually runs 12 fans. It runs 4 Nosagis as well.
Yes, for the Pekos.
Spot Pekora.
That's right. Yes.
So you tend to cut things like first Kiaras for that, and so you're not generally attacking with Kiara. You're focusing hard on Polka, but this deck is running first Kiaras, so it's probably only running the 8 fans, and it does attack with Kiara.
I think 8 fans is fine. I don't think you need to overkill on 12. I really don't. Like you can.
Yeah, it is a bit overkill. It ruins the consistency of the rest of your deck, and sometimes you're just going to draw this handful of fans and nothing to put them on.
Okay. Oh, we are going to see a first Iris come down. What a top deck. That's kind of nutty. And we're going to see another Soyo the enemy. Probably going to bring out that Polka in the back, or probably the Kiara actually.
Yeah, with Sinso, you're the enemy of the Yoshi skill, but that doesn't mean the card stopped existing. So once again, the Polka with the Zine on it is going to go down, reducing the power of the Buzz Polka.
Yep.
And if we can take out the Kiara as well, which, I mean, it seems likely with this setup, then that's a KFP going down as well. And more importantly, both life remaining.
Yeah. In fact, this could be the game, right?
Yes,
because Iris is going to take out the Polka, and then Mume is going to take out the Kiwawa, and that is game.
Indeed.
So, yes, we are going to see Toolbox.
Neither deck having an ideal start, but in the end, Promise just about pulled through. Does this deck run cronies, or are all of them hiding in the bottom half? That's a genuine question.
I mean, yeah, it could very well be, I guess. Right, let's quickly...
It doesn't run second crony, but...
Yeah. Right, let's quickly speak to Elise Hazuki. Hello, guys. obviously, thank you so much for playing on stream. I appreciate it. Obviously, Hasuke, please stick around. There will be a third, fourth place match, which we'll have on this table, on table 2. And obviously, our winner will go into table 1, where we'll stream again. So we'll see you in the final. Congrats. I know you can't speak on chat. I know you've got a mic issue, which is fine. But yes. So, yes, we'll see you on table 1. And, yeah, best of luck. I charge my ear, but oh, that's what it is. Okay, that's fair enough. No worries. We'll see you there. Okay, so we are now ready for our final nearly. Let me just see if we've got a result from the other game. We do. So Vitri, who we saw in that semi-final match, playing Kanata, will be going through to the finals and taking on the Toolbox Promise. So actually, I think that's a really interesting matchup. I think Kanata might have the edge, providing it sets up. But what do you think?
I think it's a close one. I'm not really willing to call it. I'm of the opposite opinion. I think the Promise has the slight edge if it can, ironically, if it can set itself up quicker. If it can find the first Mume. But the thing is, like, if what Promise has that Kanata doesn't is first Mume, which enables just a complete, just set everything up all at once turn. Meanwhile, Kanata obviously has to draw everything one at a time or find Nodokas to draw things. Promise just goes, oh, I've got a first Mume. Okay, I have a board now.
Yeah, that's very true. Final round. Winners from semi-finals, please go to table 1. Losers from semi-finals, please go to table 2. We will stream table 1. Right, let's jump into table 1. Hello, everybody. Hello. Right, yes, you are in our finals. Potentially, yes, but they will be using the in-game chat, and it seemed to work fine for the last one, so that's no problem. So yes, if you can both share your screens again, that would be appreciated. And no worries. Right, in that case, then I'm gonna close my HoloDelta because I don't need that anymore. And let's get ready to pop that out. We've got the 2 streams ready. Fantastic. And we are getting ready for the finals. Whenever you guys are ready, you can start. Don't wait for us. We can just jump straight in. And we will mute ourselves now, okay? Good luck. Okay, I'm just gonna mute them a little bit. And let's watch the stream. Make sure we've got that isn't. There we go. And full game screen into the finals. So yeah, I think this matchup's going to be really interesting. Like you said, like if one sets up and the other doesn't, they're probably going to take it. If they both set up, I think that's where the game gets really interesting.
Yes. In that case, since this, if they do both get set up, I think Kanata might have the edge. But I think it is quite a slight edge in the case where they're both set up, and it's going to be a very close game.
Yeah.
I just think overall in the matchup, Promise has the edge because it can set up more explosively with that first Mume turn.
Yeah, I agree. But it will be interesting to say the least.
Mulligan. I'm looking at Kanata Mulligan here. That's 3 debuts in a second. I mean, I'd keep that hand. Yep, that hand gets kept.
And then looking at, it's not sharing the right screen. 1 second. Quick one. One of you isn't Vitri, you've got your stream right. The other one, you're sharing the wrong screen. Sorry, I didn't catch you. I've forgotten your name already, and I do apologise. I went to share your screen, and then it's like, oh wait, that says Discord stuff. Also, don't worry about time on this one. Obviously, this one, because it's the finals, it's untimed. So, obviously, take your time. You are sharing the wrong screen. You are sharing Discord. Right, for now, we're just going to watch from this side, at least, anyway. Right, so yes, we're seeing a potentially not great
you should
setup.
turn your mic off in the Discord.
Oh yes, I should. Yes, you're right. Thank you. So
Don't want to give too much away.
I mean, it's fine. I'm watching it from the Canada side anyway. So yeah, we're not seeing the best setup potentially for Promise here, but who knows what's in hand? You could see a couple of ordinary PCs and everything would be absolutely fine. So
Yeah,
let's see what comes down.
Ordinary PC had a debut, and then, with two Mumes on the board, you get... we're going to enemy turn 1 very early, just to try to snipe that collab Kanata.
Yeah, to stop it from collabing. That's a very interesting play. I like that.
Very, very proactive. And you've got Friend coming down here as well for extra damage.
Oh, I can watch multiple streams like that. Oh, that's good. I didn't know I could do that.
Oh yeah, it's got a button there for it. Well, Shen's still streaming Discord, so...
Yes. So let me stop watching that. Actually, I'll keep it there, because people can't really see what's going on there. And then if they fix it, then great. If not, then boo. I have learned something new about Discord today. Okay, so yeah, so we saw a cheeky 40 damage dealt to the Kanata Center, which I think is actually a really positive move from the Promise player. Shem, that's the one, Shem, thank you.
Yes, you're right. Yes, stop the collab Kanata from collabing because it's stuck in the center now. And with no cheer on it, it would be you'd have to dedicate an entire cheer, the whole turn's cheer, to this collab just to be able to baton pass and then re-collab it.
And then it makes it susceptible to just being attacked next turn as well. So, it's I think that was an incredibly good move by Shem there. Right.
And we see the cheer go onto it. I can't imagine we're not going to baton pass with the center Kanata, with the first Kanata, which was already set up, which is now on the back, and then
probably Bloom.
And then collab in.
I'd probably Bloom it at this point. Collab then Bloom, just because it's already taken 40 damage.
Right. Yes.
Oh no. Okay, so we're just going to bloom onto
blooming with the. Oh, okay. We're not baton passing at all.
And it does hit. Okay, so I think he's just accepting that it's going to be, it's gone. It's all over. And attach the U-Power as well.
To the first counter. So now this first counter on the back is very loaded.
Backup PC missing.
PC and we find nothing.
Oh, he didn't put stuff to the bottom. Hold on. He's going to see the same 5 cards. Yep, see the same 5 cards.
Yeah.
Hold on, don't forget you need to put the cards to the bottom of your deck and then do your top 5 again. Because you, yeah. There we go. Oh, there we go. So he sees a mana channel at least. So that's something. Mana which actually, not great. I mean, he's already got one. Limited. Right? So it's not. I probably would have considered playing the Money Chan first, and just seeing what you get. But this is a really good redraw.
I think there's 2 reasons to play the PC first. Number 1, obviously, you look for Nodoka. But number 2, it gets them out of your hand, which means it also gets them out of the reshuffle.
True.
So you're not finding PCs later. That's a potential reason to play the PCs, both of them there, even if you were planning to play the Money-chan.
Absolutely. So, yeah, we're seeing some collab Kanatas come down. Yeah, bringing forward the first bloom. Using I'll Crush You skill. to do some massive damage here, and I think they're just trying to deal with. He's trying to make sure he gets around the friend.
If this can take out both Mumeis here, it's game over. But
I don't know if
if this has to take out both Mumeis
Not
with the friend.
both. The Mume base is 90. So it's going to be
Plus
120.
Friend would be 120 you'd need to hit.
And then the other one's only doing 70. I think Canather's 40 base, plus 20 from the axe, plus 10 from.
120 from Canather to center Mume.
Oh, no, it's 100.
My word.
It's 100. No, it's 100. It is game.
Yeah. So that's it.
Oh,
that's,
no.
that's the dog.
Oh wait, no. So doing 100 from there, and then. So yeah, no, it's 70. No, the Mume is alive.
70. Oh, okay.
But it does mean that Shem is going to have to center a rested Holomem, which means no attack and no possibility, and no possibility of baton pass either.
Right, when your center Holomem is rested, it can't use arts and it can't baton pass, so it's very much stuck there. Unless you have some other kind of switch effect, but
yes,
let's be honest here, nobody's running those.
Yeah, the only card you've got is I'll Leave It To You, which is a self switch. I've seen a couple of decks that run it, but for this exact situation. But normally you'd 95 out of 100 times, you would basically go, yeah, that's not going to happen, so it's fine. Okay, we found an ordinary PC, but still gaming. We are still on. It's not going to be a quick final.
The other card is the Spot Flare on Collab. I believe has the same effect of being able to switch.
Yes, that's right.
Center with a back member, even if it's rested. But that's those are the two effects. Is I'll Leave It To You and the Spot Flare. And as I said, nobody's really running those. It is very much a tech in this game, at least for a very specific situation. So
I'm just going to remind him to move back his collab. Don't forget to move back your collab from previous turn. There we go.
Yep.
So opponent, I think the end is near.
Why is he leaving the Yaris in the back there? But it's not going to last very long, I don't think.
At least it means that he's going to have a debut to do something with next turn, hopefully.
But yeah, 2 debut Mumeis being taken out. I guess if you don't find the first Mume, you can't do the blooming shenanigans. And I think if there was a first Mume in hand, we would have seen it last turn because the rested Holomem can still bloom.
So here's an interesting play. Do you bloom with the first Cancer here? Yes, they don't take life, which is a good thing because then they don't get extra cheer. But also, it means that again, basically the turn's over. Well, you just obviously you collab to get some holo power, but you stop them. You deal with the center Mume without them gaining a life, and because they're so far behind, do you care about them taking a life?
Yeah,
I'd consider blooming with the Cancer here. I'd actually consider it.
Yeah, we see it right there. I agree with you. In this situation, when there's only 2 Holomems on board, both of which are obviously only debuts, not taking the life here is not necessarily a bad thing. Because your game plan, your win condition changes from reducing their life to 0 to removing all of their Holomems from the board. So at that point, their life total doesn't matter.
Okay, no, so he is going to be attacking. So I think he's still keeping the life win condition live. Just in case, for whatever reason, if the promised player draws into a Nodika or a Manachan and is able to fix their hand, then that's the way, I guess. So it is an other option. So we do see a first bloom Iris. So we are going to see a big smack properly taking out the collab Canada here, I think.
where are we attacking?
It's only doing 70, so it's not going to take out the counter. So I think it has to take out the center. I think you have to try and catch up on the life here.
Yeah.
Yeah, center.
And taking
yeah,
out
there you go.
and taking out the counter with the collab ability isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I guess it doesn't make too much of a difference in this situation. You're just happy to take one out at all. But with no debuts in the back there.
Oh,
this scary situation for
if we see a second Kanata come into hand, it is definitely all over. We haven't got the Yoshi skill anymore, but that might not matter. Will we see? So I would have. I suppose you got the other Kanata. Oh wait, I've only got one cheer. I think I could be wrong.
Have we done cheer for turn yet?
He hasn't cheered for. Did he cheer for turn? No, he must have done because he went second. He must have done, right? Or if he hasn't, it's his fault. I guess.
Let's pretend he has.
So it's still
doing 30 damage to the center of the boom.
Yeah,
now.
that's gotta be it. Because Iris is only at 120, and then both of those Kanatas are going to attack. The center's doing about 70. The one on the left doing 20, and that should be game.
Center. Hold on. What power is that center?
I think it's
again.
I think it's GG. There you go. So the Kanata is doing 40 plus 20 plus 10 for 30 plus 20 from the collab, which is 90, and game over. That is the game. Kanata showing exactly what Kanata does, and that is all she wrote, folks. I guess let's try and catch.
As I said, if. Sorry, as I said, or as you said, if the counter gets set up, then it can roll over. I guess Shem just never found that first Mume. Otherwise, it would have been a very different game with first Mumes coming out and getting very much set up on the promise side. But that's the way that the draws go sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if we can speak to the guys. It's all right. They didn't notice that they were sharing the wrong screen. It's all good. It's all good. So first of all, Victory, congratulations. That was a very convincing win for Canada there. I think there are a couple of lines of play that I thought was potentially interesting. There was one that we was discussing where the first bloom Kanata, you could have bloomed with it the previous turn to deal damage and basically not let your opponent get the free life. But I guess in that situation you were just still thinking, I still wanted to take the life out. He's still not got much going on in his backstage. Just deal the damage normally, right? Feature, you there? Nope. That's fine. I guess they must just be busy. So that's fine. I think. Oh, hello.
Second.
Yep. No worries, dude. No worries.
Muted or whatever the heck my headphones sayings are. The reason why I did that, I did not really think too hard on the life aspect of things. The thing though is you can't really be too sure about how many things they have left.
Yeah.
And either way, the important part is that even if it has the Iris has two cheer, you get the Jeff cheer.
Yeah.
Having two cheers on a stranded Iris is not good.
Yeah,
right?
True.
Because ideally the cheer should go to somewhere that they can actually use it. Perhaps you will rather have a 1-1 split. Yeah. And again, you just never know with these kinds of decks. It was over the moment that I spotted the fact, I can just. What if I just added 100 damage to the thing that was already on board, and just killed the friend. Without any negotiations.
And like I think there was I think the early game, like again with Shem, like the unfortunate start they had, but that turn one, so you're the enemy, to switch into your collab Kanata was such a big brain play. I was sitting there going, oh, that is a fantastic move. Like just like stopping that collab from doing things, trying to reclaim board and try and reclaim some form of control of the game. And then you manage hand, and then you got all the debuts, you got all the collabs, and you're sitting going, oh well, it doesn't matter now.
Well, it doesn't even matter with the Manichan stuff. The thing that mattered was I found a line that actually like killed a Mume, the center Mume.
Yeah.
And forced the collab Mume to do nothing, and this is why I like going first as Kanata, because you get having access to like 2 holo power on turn 2.
Yeah.
While going first is just so strong.
Yeah.
That I think it negates the benefits of, oh, maybe I kill like the first debut if I get incredibly lucky with, I don't know, I get my axe, I get my Upao, I get my like all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
think that the prevailing sentiment seems to be going first, even with this counter deck, is still the right thing to do. So
I think it's even more important to go first. You just have this like emergency backup plan if you go second, but it's like you're fine going second. I just feel like going first is so much better, but people don't experiment it with as much because some people just like going second the deck.
Yeah, because I always found that the deck was just better going second in general, and I feel that 9 times out of 10 you might want to go second with Kanata, but like you said, having that basically first turn that you can attack and go, yeah, by the way, plus 100, oh by the way, smack, like just having that ability to board disrupt with a really big attack can basically win you a game.
Yeah, also like your opponent likes going first too. They like going first.
Yeah, that's true.
Why do you want to give first to your opponent who wants first?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And I suppose that was the thing, right? Because again, like it's funny whenever I've played games with friends, like basically if they go, "Oh, I'm playing Kanata," and I go, "So I'll go first, you go second, yeah?" And I go, "Yeah." Don't even bother doing a dice roll or anything like that to see who goes first. But that definitely makes me reconsider about Kanata. And makes me think that actually Kanata going first is still incredibly good, and in some situations, sometimes in most situations, actually going first is still better. Getting an extra turn to set up, and like you said, like a first attack, just go, yeah, by the way, I'm smacking you face bay. It's like, oh
yeah.
It's, no, it was really interesting to see because I'd never really thought of it. So actually being able to see that was very, very insightful, so thank you for that. Shem, I don't know if you're in a position where you can chat now. If you can't, that's no problem. Just give me a chat. You can chat. Fantastic. So I guess from your end, also we didn't really get to see much of your gameplay in terms of your hand situation, but I can only imagine that you didn't really have the Nodokas that you needed to see. Obviously your Mume's going down first. If you had a first Mume, you had no chance to use it. Canada just kind of shut you out entirely, right? If you are talking, you're just chatting in the thing. That's fine. Let me share back to this screen so people can see the chat and move me out the way. Whee. So people can always read here. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. There we go. That's what I want to move. We're gonna get rid of this now. Whilst Shem is messaging again, like that is the end of this tournament. I bricked hard and Kanata is actually faster than my aggro deck, so I lost to both Kanata decks in this tournament. That makes sense. No, that makes a lot of sense, and yeah, I think I do really like the toolbox promise deck that you've gone for, like the mono white using the Sora Oshi. I think one thing we discussed during the beginning was that the Discord chat it should be working. That's very interesting. It has worked. I don't know what's happened there. Anyway, but yes, so I think it's interesting that I lost my train of thought.
That's interesting.
Yes, no, that's what we're saying. We was talking about the Sora Oshi, how it's one of those Oshis that, whilst it doesn't really belong in a certain deck, it's so generic and so cheap that any deck can run it. It's a very, very strong Oshi that you can just put in to try out a different game plan in basically any build. So I really rate that about the Sora Oshi, and that's what what Og brought up, and I thought it was a very good point. And I guess for the playing, I guess the biggest question for playing Promise, why? I'm curious to know why choose the Sora Oshi over going pure Promise and using the Mume? You say, I mainly use this deck as a counter for Polkiada and Monoazki, since I can just pull squishies and make them think more, which is absolutely fair. Just being able to go, again, turn 2, I've got my 2 Holo Power, I'm just going to straight up use the So You're the Enemy guaranteed, whip it out, deal with the squishy, stop them from getting to their first blooms. It's very powerful, it's very strong.
Having access to that on demand. I'm wondering if do you remember? There's a lot I don't remember. Do you know how much Mume's SP skill costs? The one that draws
2
from the deck
to get an event 2.
That costs 2, and that can pull
block,
one, right? Because that's an event.
Yeah.
The block is 2 and the thing is 2.
For that.
Yeah. Sora Oshi is great since you can continually attack with just transfer. Yeah, the pay 1 transfer energy is so good. That replacement skill is so nice. And like you said, you can cycle your energies around as your cheers as you need to. I say I still
that skill. I thought it was sort of a skill for it's a skill for beginners who have misplaced energy to be able to put it somewhere else. But really, it's more of a skill which allows you to run less of the ramping tools, because you can just reuse the energy, more than once in a turn.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I agree. And so I think like you said, I think it's great that they put it into the start deck. Like you said, it's I've put it here accidentally. Oh, let me move it and actually do it as part of the game mechanic. Amazing. It's great that you can do that, but again, when you look at the higher level side of things and the more competitive play, it's still an incredibly good skill. I think I really like that deck, and it's probably one that I'm going to proxy at some point because I think it's a really interesting build. I guess the only thing, because of the build that you're going for, you don't have space for the cronies, because again you're not worrying about using the cheer ramp engine in the cronies, because you can just go, instead of that, I'm just going to move the cheers around, which works just as fine. So no, I think it's a really, really interesting build, and it's something we're going to see a lot more of, I think. But Promise is still also very scary in its own right. Being able to block 50 damage with Civilization, Guardian of Civilization. I removed the Cronian line since I don't need it with Sora Oshi and Penlight, so I can just go full aggro. That makes a lot of sense. That's really interesting to hear. Right, on that note, that is the end of this tournament. Vitri, is there anything else you'd like to say before we go?
If anyone wondered why I picked Canada, I low-key kind of wanted to go Aki, one day before. I was like, no, I'm not going to. I just want to do well in one turn. Maybe I can swap to some meme stuff.
Yeah.
I think I picked probably the best deck in the I think I picked the best deck in the circuit.
Sure.
Because first of all, it's not prone to time issues.
Yeah.
We love those. But also like Kanata is incredibly efficient at like dispatching unrefined or like less than perfect deck lists. Because it just has so many, because it just has so much disruption with just how much damage it does really early game.
Yeah, for sure.
I've
like
seen that said a lot, that Kanata's the deck that shuts out anything that's unrefined in
Like-
the format.
And I just wanted something that's lower energy to like play, because I don't want to be like use all my brain cells playing 7 games of like Promise or like some other deck. I don't
Just
know.
wanted to go Unga Bunga, understandable.
I just want to have some games where I had a game where I just that person was the Polka, right? The Polka like in the semifinals.
Yeah.
And the way that I won was kind of silly. I was going second.
Okay.
My opponent like kind of bricked their draw.
Yeah.
Like they were down like 5-ish cards. They had like 1 Polka. And then like my turn 1 was just Kanata for 40. Collab Kanata for another 30.
Yeah.
And then an Axe. And then I just won in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's
Classic donk.
yeah, it's yeah, like I say, it's classic Kanata, right? It's no, I think overall, like, I think Kanata is extremely strong. Like, everyone says, "Oh, Promise this, Promise that," and don't get me wrong, Promise is an extremely strong deck, but the ability that Kanata has to disrupt that early game is nothing to be shrugged at. And not only that, like, I think even in the last tournament, I think
Ocean X.
Yeah,
Just 5-0 the Swiss.
exactly. Yeah, like it had the best win ratio. Like Kanata was the only reason Kanata didn't do much further, in my opinion, is because there was such a low representation. Because people want to try other things out. People were really on the Suisse train. Also, we saw our first Mono ASCII. We saw Chiara Polka take the win because I think because Chiara Polka was able to take the win because there was no other aggro deck to deal with it. Like, and there wasn't enough aggro. It avoided Kanata, and then it was able to take the win.
Yeah, there was only like 2 Kanatas last time, wasn't there? Or something
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just dodged them.
So, no, it was really, really good, and it was really interesting to see. So, yes, no, thank you both from Shem. Thank you for the tournament. I mainly made this deck since there's so many Mono ASCII and Polkiana at the time in HoloDuel, so I specifically cooked this deck to abuse the matchup. Never knew it could translate well in. I never knew that it would translate well in a tournament setting. Moonris can abuse slow decks, even though it's not Kanata. It can. You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. And I think it was. I think it's a fantastic deck, and I think it's one of those not anti-meta picks, but it's like it's a good tier 2 deck that can just do things because it's so cheap, because it's so accessible, and it's just it still does what Promise does, just a bit cheaper, which is kind of nice, and without as many moving parts as well. It's an easier deck to master because of the number of pieces you've got to consider with like white blue Promise. So in a sense, mono white Promise with Sora is just that bit more consistent, which is always nice. But again, I think the big problem that Promise has is that if it bricks so hard, and that is just a generic Promise problem. And
as we saw here, this particular deck gets run over by the slightly faster aggro decks in the format. Which, I mean, that's how aggro be. You know, the fastest aggro deck is going to run over the others, but the fastest one is also most prone to being ruled out early, I think.
Exactly. No, I agree.
Well, anyway, congratulations to both of you for reaching the finals and for V-Tree for winning.
Yeah. I want to shout out one person before I leave.
Of course you can.
I want to shout out specifically Dr. Dolan for like. I think he shared like a list. Like, he wasn't the one that created it, but he shared like a list that's really like the only modification that I made to the deck is I removed 1 sub PC one Techie Den or like Soldier enemy.
Yeah.
Because I just think that's a good card.
Yeah.
But basically, he was the one that just like got me started on this. You should like run Kanata. It's a good deck. Just skip Stora, run 4 Star PC, because you want to fetch your collab Canada more often.
Yeah.
And hey, look, it wasn't this tournament.
Good games.
No, that's great. Thank you very much for playing, guys. I'll reach out to you all for your deck lists when I can. So thank you so much for playing, everyone. But that is going to be the end of this stream. I'm going to say goodbye to the guys in Discord. Thank you for playing, and we'll catch up with you later. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Okay, let's bring Mr. Boop Boop back. Do we have an Og back?
We do.
We do. So, yeah, that is the tournament. That was a really good fun. For those that are interested in joining them in the future, at the moment we're running once a month. I just haven't got the time to do once a week. I would love to do once a week, but I do not have that time capability. Once we start getting more unofficial judges, so if you're interested and you've been playing the game and you think you know the rules inside out, there is a online judge test that I made, which you can do. Basically, as long as you score 16 out of 20, which is 80%, you basically qualify to be an unofficial judge. I will share that link in here now. Let me just copy that. Copy link and paste. Boop. There you go. So that is the judge test. If you want to take part in that and you want to help us judge events and to help run events so we can run them more frequently on Discord server, that would be amazing. The help would be really, really beneficial. So it's not just me. In terms of streaming them on my channel, I will try and stream it every time it happens. So again, that once a month that I get to do at least, whether I'm playing or whether I'm just being a tournament organizer, we'll sort of make it work. Obviously, if we do have another tournament organizer that wishes to stream it as well, speak to us, speak to us on the server, speak to one of the stage directors, either myself, Og, or Cyber, and we can, talk about it and try and set you up. That'd be cool. But yeah, that's it for today's stream on the Hololive card game. After this stream, I will be taking a quick break just to get some food, and then I will be coming back again. I'll be streaming again to play some TCG Card Shop Simulator. I'll be back in about an hour or so, so I hope you look forward to that. Og, before we go, do you have any final words?
The only thing I wanted to say was just to shout out the link to the Discord, which is discord.gg/Hololive OCG.
Yes, please come and join our Discord server. I will chuck it in chat again. For some reason, it wasn't working for some people. I don't know why, but it should work. Discord.gg/Hololive OCG. That is correct. There we go. So that is the link. That should work. Oh, I might have actually put it incorrect. I've put HTTPS. That's not going to work. It's HTTP.
The hypertext transfer protocol.
Oh, I've even done it wrong. I've done HTYP now. Oh no! It's been a long day. Okay. There we go. There it is. That should work. Let me just click it myself and see if it actually works. Yeah, the link seems to work. Weird. Okay. I don't know why it wasn't working for some people, but it should work. But yes. So yes. Please join the Discord server for the Hololive official card game fan server. As well as that, you can also check out my Discord server, which is discord.gg/Weiss and Chill, if you want to join my community over there. And again, if you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow over on Twitch, where I do streams at least 2 or 3 times a week. Normally I do a Hololive gameplay on Mondays. I try and do some Vice Schwartz gameplay on Wednesdays, and then the weekend I do whatever I've got time for. So come and join me over there. And if you want to support the channel, please consider joining and becoming a member on YouTube. And also make sure you consider subscribing over on Twitch. But apart from that, like I said, I'm going to be back in about an hour's time to play some more TCG Car Shop Sim. Thank you to Og for helping run this today's tournament and supporting me on the commentating today. I really appreciate you, my dude.
You're welcome.
That's it for today. So thank you. Well, that's it for this part of the day. I'm going to be back in a bit. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in about an hour for some more streaming. Catch you later, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye!